Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. So excited. Today, I've got actress Madison Lintz with me. So welcome, Madison.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I was so excited to have you on the show. I've wanted you on here for a long time. I was telling you off camera, we've had a lot of the cast from Bosch come on the program, but you were the one. You were the one I was looking for.
Oh, well, I'm happy to be here. I'm glad we're able to do this.
Me too.
I'm excited to be here. Yeah, thank you.
You come from such an acting family, but I'm actually a pretty big fan of your mom's.
Oh, really? The Mist?
The Mist, which we've had Thomas James been on the program, and he raved about your mom. But she was on this show on NBC, Surface.
Yeah.
I love that show. I was so disappointed when it went off air, but I
loved that show. I loved Nimrod, the little guy. I loved him.
Yes. Yeah, it was a good show.
Yep.
It's a little Loch Ness Monster show.
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know why they canceled it. It was really sad.
Because it was too early. Like if it came out now, I think
it would have been a sensation. It just wasn't the right time.
No, I agree. Wasn't the right time. And then wasn't she? She was on One Tree Hill too for a while.
Yes, she was. She was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty.
And
good.
My brother is on a show right now.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel. So the final episode of that comes out on Wednesday. It's on Disney Plus. I'm promoting the wrong platform.
That's okay.
It's not my platform, but it's my brother's.
And he's really good on there. He's really good.
He's killing it. So it's a really good show if anyone's interested in a miniseries.
I know it's so interesting that they've taken all of those characters and just given them. They're kind of like mini series. Yes. They got like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Kind of, but it tells a really good story. It's now both of you have done comic book stuff. Mm-hmm. Of course, he did Walking Dead too.
Yeah, this is his second comic book thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was ever a comic book character in Dead. He was a written character. So now he's actual comic book character.
Now he's an actual comic book character. Pretty exciting. So I was a comic book store owner back through the 90s. So that's my people when you're talking about comic book stuff. Yeah, Marvel went bankrupt in 96, and I was like, it's over. I got to get out. And then, of course, look at them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like more people tune into those movies than they do the books anymore, the comic books.
Oh, yeah. It's changed.
Still, I'm sure, a huge following, but...
Yeah.
I'm a Marvel.
Well, you have fans of the movies and the shows that have never picked up a comic book.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah. All right. That's okay. Okay. Like back in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, terrible. If we got something on TV from a comic book, it was awful. But now really? Everything that comes out's good.
Even Batman? I liked the
Batman was good. Now I'll take that back. Yeah, Batman with Michael Keaton was really good. I'll tell you my Michael Keaton story.
Okay.
Very quick. It's totally off topic.
Okay.
I was telling you off camera that when I go to LA, I usually stay there on the boulevard there in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. There's an ice cream shop around the corner. Mm. Can't think of the name of it. It's kind of a fancy ice cream shop. Pretty good. So I'm in that ice cream shop, and the guy behind the counter, he looks at me. It's been a few years back, but he looks at me. He said, "You kind of look like Michael Keaton." And I was like, "Yeah, I get that a lot." I don't, but I was like, "I get that a lot." And he looks at me for a second. And he goes, "Are you Michael Keaton?"
Did you say yes?
I should have.
You should have. You really should have. I actually can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it a little bit.
Just because of the hair, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, see, he had back in the 80s, he had hair. Now his was curly, but I had pretty epic 80s hair too.
Oh, really?
And as he's gotten older, he has also lost his epic 80s hair. So, okay. So now I'm way off topic. So let me back up.
Okay. That was a funny story.
Yeah, I know that story kind of cracks me up. I'm probably the only one, but
it reminds me of when people from like fans from Bosch recognize me in public. They do the same sort of thing where they're like, "You look like somebody who's friends with my daughter," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't think I'm friends with your daughter. I'm so sorry." And they're like, "No, you went to school with my daughter in Pensacola, didn't you?" And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I have to be like, "Do you watch a show on Amazon Prime?" And sometimes I just think that fan base, they don't really think that way. Like the younger people will look at someone and be like, "Oh, I think maybe they're on a TV show," but I don't think their minds automatically jump to that. So they're kind of like a little confused at first, and I have to like lead them to Bosch. And the moment I say Bosch, then it all like
then it all clicks.
Yeah,
it all clicks. It's been fun with Bosch because over the years we've got to see your character grow, and your role in the show kept increasing, and now on the new show Legacy, you're like main character status now.
Yeah. I am.
I know, it's so exciting with that. Did you have to like that transition from Bosch to the new show? Did you change the way you came about that? I'm sure you had to do some training for the new one.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge. And I was so happy to sort of step up into that challenge. It was really fun. I did a bunch of like physical training stuff and gun range training because I'd never had to handle a weapon. So I really focused on making sure that I trained with Tatiana and Terran Tactical. So that was really
kind
awesome.
of a badass.
Yeah. Yeah, she's crazy. She is literally like insane.
Yeah.
So I was so happy to be able to work with them and be able to handle a weapon, a firearm safely on set. And I worked with my acting coach, William James, and I did pretty much everything that I could to
I think you would have to, because it's such a different role than what you were playing. I mean, it's very physical in the new show.
Very physical, and a lot had happened in our life, and it was a 1.5-year jump. A lot happens. Yeah. I experienced it from ages, I guess she was 21 to 23. Like you change a lot in those years. So
yes, you do.
Yeah, I had to really make sure that maturity was there as well.
So you do a good job, I think, showing the all the different emotions in the role, because you can, she's learning, like she's experienced some of this stuff through her dad. So she's familiar with some of it, but she's never been through it firsthand. Mm-hmm. So I think seeing some of that play out, even when you're not speaking, really good job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. She's what they call, they're salty when they're boots and they're rookies or whatever you want to call it, but they think that they know more than they do, but they don't have the experience, but they think that they know.
That's right.
And they
have in trouble a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
We had Denise on Sanchez and got to talk to her about that because she has to get on you a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite thing is Maddie thinks she knows what she's doing, and she gets paired with Vasquez, who knows what she's doing.
He knows
who has had those years of experience and is able to be like, you don't know anything, so sit down. and that the scenes where Maddie is like thrown off by her.
You're like, hey.
Yeah, like that like just like complete and utter shock. And those are my favorite scenes from last season.
Yeah, when the scene where you left the guy, you handcuffed the guy and then went and left him.
Yeah.
We were kind of yelling at the TV for that one. Don't leave him there. That didn't work out
in those first episodes. She just really can't. She leaves her partner, gets in trouble, leaves her perp, gets in trouble. It's just really
Well, didn't you get jumped in that early on in the first few episodes? Didn't you you went into the house, but you turned your back and
yeah, that too. I kept screwing up. And that's the thing. She thinks she knows what she's doing, and she's so wanting to have experience and wanting to get her feet wet and wanting to do all of this stuff, but she's still learning. She doesn't know what she's doing. And so the first few episodes of the season is just her like realizing she doesn't know what she's doing, and her still pursuing it anyways, and still doing her best to learn and still striving and still on the pursuit of justice.
Yeah.
She still strives in that way. And that's what I think makes her so likable, is she continually will fuck up, but it's not stopping her.
That's right.
Sorry. Are we allowed to cuss? I cussed. I don't know.
You are. You're allowed.
Okay. Sorry.
You've ruined everything now.
You can bleep me. You can. Yeah.
See, I don't even have, if we don't bleep, but if we did,
yeah,
that's my son's job. He's the editor. So
interesting.
I wouldn't have to do any of that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got the hard job.
Yeah. Your son's an editor?
Yeah. Yeah. He does.
Cool.
He started, when we started, we were on here together. He quickly figured out he does not like to be on camera, but he loves the behind the scenes stuff. So it worked out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So he handles the hard stuff, and I just get on here and, gab.
That's what I do. That's my job. I get in front of the camera and just start talking.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I enjoyed, like, when that first episode, when we got to see you as a police officer, it was kind of cool because, the last few episodes of Bosch, you're having to be protected. So getting to see you in more of a physical role where you're able to protect yourself, that was kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun to do. I gained 20 pounds of muscle to be able to look somewhat
That's
decent.
amazing. You can tell you've been, that's why I asked. You can tell that you've been working your ass off.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tried.
But that's a lot of muscle.
I had, I think, 8 months to prepare, 7 months. So I ate so much chicken. Because here's the problem. I was already down in weight because it was the pandemic.
Right.
And so we were filming. I couldn't see anybody or go anywhere or do anything. So I was in solitary confinement, wasting away in my apartment. How
did you lose weight when most of us were in solitary gaining weight?
Well, because there was just nothing really to do. Like,
that's what you do.
I suppose I should have. Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Know, and I couldn't go out to restaurants, and I was afraid to order food because, working on that show, they were. I do cook. I do love cooking.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were the same way because, you don't, at the time, especially when we were isolated, you didn't know who was preparing the food.
Yeah, it was just too risky. And so I was just ordering, like, DoorDashing all my food or whatever it is, Instacarting all my food and, like, putting it in my kitchen and spraying it with disinfectant.
I remember those days. I did I was the one that was doing the shopping. So, but I was shopping for like 4 different families,
Really?
So I'd spend like the whole day at the store, and then I'd make the drops to the parents and the kids, and it was exhausting. But then I wasn't able to like see them in person. So I was dropping the stuff off in their garage, and then they would spray it, and it was just a whole thing.
That's really awesome of you to do. My boyfriend and I were the designated shoppers at one point. It's no joke.
No, it's a job. Back then, especially, it was a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't miss those days.
No, I don't either. But the showrunners, everybody on Bosch was working so hard to keep everything secure and safe. So I was like, I cannot be the one to get people sick.
You don't want to be the one.
No, you don't want to be the one.
Although it's about impossible not to catch this stuff at some point over the years. Just about everybody. Have you had it twice?
I've had it 2 times. I think maybe 3, because I kept saying over and over again for the 2 seasons that were like the first season back after COVID was like really scary. And then the one after that was also a little nerve wracking. And so for those 2 seasons, we were getting tested like every other day and all of that stuff, and masks. And it'll be similar this season too. And every other day I was like, I just don't want to get it. Just not while I'm filming. I just don't want to get it while I'm filming. And so the universe was like, okay, you'll get it twice then when you're not filming. So I got it once in April and then once in December of last year.
Yeah. It's about impossible to
It's a virus. It's invisible. It's hard not to.
Did you have any symptoms? Like, were you sick or was it? Yeah.
It kind of kicked my butt. It really kicked my butt. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the first time I got it, we had just gotten vaccinated. So this was April of 2021, I think. April of 2021. And I was like, wow, this vaccine's really kicking my ass. Like, I can't believe I feel like this. And I had an audition and I was talking to my roommate. She was like 3 feet away from me. And I was like, yeah, like this vaccine's really like killing me. And come to find out I had gotten the vaccine and then somehow picked up COVID at the same time.
Well, yeah, you probably caught it when you were getting the vaccine.
Yeah, I have no idea how that happened. And then my boyfriend started losing his smell and taste. And I was like, oh boy. Oh no. So yeah, kicked my butt for about a week, but yeah.
Did it mess up your cardio for a while though? Did you snap back pretty quick?
I would say long term, I was one of the luckier people to where it really didn't feel great having it. But then once I was done, I was done.
Oh, that's good.
My smell and taste came back pretty fast and I was able to, like, I didn't really notice. I mean, of course, like the week or two after getting sick, you don't feel great in your workouts, but then you sort of get back to normal and everything's fine. So I think I was lucky.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I've never actually tested positive for it. I work in a hospital system during the day, so I'm tested like constantly. I haven't tested positive, but that 2020, we went to Sundance in January, and then right after that, I got sick, like as sick as I've ever been. It got down in my chest, and I was, just horribly sick. But they hadn't announced it yet. I'm pretty sure that was.
Yeah, but people were kind of talking about it in January.
Yeah, it was just starting to get talked about, but we hadn't got to the point where we were like testing.
It's in the States.
Yeah, it's here, but I'm pretty sure that's when I had it. Then it took me a few months to get to the point where I felt okay, but just to get back to where I could run and stuff, it was kind of rough. That stuff's no joke.
No, absolutely not.
And a big pain in the butt.
Yeah, big pain in the ass. Just really.
Wow. I think it's just going to be one of those things where we're going to have to get it like a flu shot, get something every year and just deal with it.
It is, yeah. Do what you can.
Yeah, not much fun though.
No. But I mean, it makes sense. It happens every 100 years.
Yeah.
So we were due for one.
We're
lucky it's worse.
Well, really? That's the truth.
Yeah.
Which is terrible to say, but
it's horrible to say, but
yeah. It's been 100 years is what we were about to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to think back to, mid, 1918, 1915 stuff. How in the world did they deal with that stuff?
It's so funny how similar it was.
I know.
Like they had a whole, there's a picture of it from 1917 or 18, and they were sick of staying inside. And so they flooded the streets saying like, oh, like it's over, we did it. And a completely new wave came back around and they were back where they started.
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
I'm sure 100 years from now, they'll be dealing with some other nonsense.
I know.
Hopefully not, but you never know. So we got to talk a little bit about The Walking Dead.
Okay, let's do it.
You were just a baby, basically.
I was a baby.
It's been like 10 years.
Yes, it's been longer than that.
Has it really?
23. I'm 23, and I started the show when I was 11. It's been 12 years.
It's nuts that it's went by that. Like, I still remember getting excited that the show was coming out because I was a big fan of the comic book. And also I was wondering, how are they going to do this show? Because the comic was so violent. I was like,
I know.
There's no way
and I remember booking it and being like, oh my God, like I booked a show and I'm a comic book character. And so we went to Barnes & Noble. My mom took me because I was 11. I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
And she found the first comic book and I wanted to read it. And she read through it first and realized how horrible it was. So we sat on this chair in Barnes & Noble, and she was covering with her hands the parts that I couldn't read and was letting me read like
90% of the book.
90%. She would skip whole pages. I was like, I don't even know what's going on. And she would like cover with her hands and be like, okay, you can read these 2 sections because it's that like gory and graphic.
Yeah, at least it was in, I mean, since they put some out in color, but it was in black and white.
Yes, it was in black and white, wasn't it?
That helped.
Yeah. That's true.
Like I was okay when they did some of the shows in black and white. Yeah. You know, like they went back and kind of put them out in black and white. I was like, yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah. I stopped watching the show around season 5, I think, because of how gory it was getting. Oh, I don't know what my problem is. I got a weak stomach. I can't watch that stuff. Me too.
I can't handle it.
It's hard.
I can't, even knowing what was coming.
Yeah.
You know, some of the Negan stuff, I knew it was coming. It didn't help me. I couldn't watch it.
It's just unsettling. I just can't.
Yeah. But you got to do the zombie thing.
I did. And I was really grossed out the whole time. So grossed out by it. I was like, this is disgusting that I have to do this. I mean, it was cool and they were awesome. And I didn't have to get too gory because I was like, this is gross, but I was like freshly dead. So I didn't have to have too much stuff in my mouth. And that was what I was most worried about. Because some of these zombies have like stuff coming out of their mouth.
Yeah, it's gross.
And that's gross. So, and it was really
there's no way they could not make that stuff taste good.
No. And that's the thing. I was like, I'm not putting that in my mouth. That's disgusting. And they made the black stuff for my teeth. They made 6 different ones that were different flavors.
See, I would think they would be like, we can't do that because then you might smile or something.
No, they gave me like mint. They gave me raspberry. They gave
What'd you choose?
Chocolate. I only did mint and chocolate.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can't with too many flavors.
Mint would be good though. It'd be kind of refreshing.
Yeah, mint, it just tasted like mouthwash. So I was fine with mint. And then once I got used to it being in my mouth, then I transitioned to chocolate and I didn't have to swallow it. I just had to spit it out. So it really wasn't bad.
You had a very kind of gut-wrenching role on that show. It was upsetting.
Yeah. It was. It was a very emotionally leveraging scene. That was pretty cool. It was. It really was. It was a cool death. Matthew, my brother, he had a cool one too. He played Henry on the show. That was a cool one. Liked that one.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Was cool. Yeah, if you're going to be on a zombie show, you need to die. You need to be a zombie and get killed
and have a cool death, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you have to go out on that show, which most do, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want just some run-of-the-mill death. You want something cool.
No, you want an iconic death. You want a mid-season or a finale death. Mid-season finale or finale death.
Well, Walking Dead's they were kind of the show that made the mid-season a thing.
Isn't that weird? Like, nobody does that anymore. It was only Walking Dead that did that. Well, that's not true because Stranger Things released it in parts, didn't they?
Yeah, and I was wondering, I was like, what are they doing keeping the last 2 episodes? But then like the last episode was like a movie.
It was 3 hours.
I know.
So cool.
So good this year.
That show actually freaks me out a little bit too.
That was
all the bones breaking.
Yeah, that was a rough season this year, but good, really good.
Really amazing, very great show. But the bones breaking, I had to look away.
The first interview we ever did, and we've done, I don't know, 430 of them now. But the first one we ever did, which my son did with me, was with Joe Crest, who plays the dad on Stranger Things. But he's from like just down the road from us. So we actually did that one, and that's our only live interview we've ever done too.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Well, I was like, hey, Joe Crest.
That's really cool.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. He was such a nice guy, and that was it was an easy one. He made it very easy, which probably, like, if it had been a terrible experience, we might not be podcasting.
Yeah, I know. That's tough. Just jumping into that first interview.
First one.
Yeah.
But it went so well. And then, 3.5 years later, here we are. 400 some.
Holy crap. That was a lot of interviews.
Talking with Sophia.
Yeah. What makes a good interviewee? You've done 400.
Yeah. So like I really try just to have a conversation. Right. So that's my goal. I may not always achieve it, but that's my goal. Just have a conversation because you've been through, you've done a zillion interviews.
I've probably done close to 400 too. Maybe not 400.
But you're just getting peppered with questions. So I'm just trying to have wherever it goes, we'll just go with it. But nice. For me, like someone that's really good to interview is just somebody that'll, have that back and forth. Mm. The worst thing is if you get somebody that's just yes, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. No, I get
that. And I've had a couple, but the majority have been really good.
Right.
Usually they're really good, but I've especially early on, I might have over interviewed, I went a little too long, and you can just tell you reach that point and they're just like, I'm done.
Yeah. That does happen. That does happen. Yeah, but the interview format of like a conversation I find is so much easier than like, so da 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 da, and then they just put the microphone to your mouth and you're like, and now I have to give a thought out answer.
And most of the time, from what I've seen, it doesn't even seem like they're really a fan of you or the show. They just have their list of questions that they're getting out. Yeah.
You can really tell a good interviewer like by whether or not they've done their research.
Well, yeah, because it gives you stuff to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my whole life. Mm-hmm. I've said, I've got like the world's worst superpower. It's just I'm filled with all of this nerdy knowledge that's useless. There's nothing to do with it, and then all of a sudden I'm like podcasting.
That's so funny. It's so true. It is so true. Podcasting. That is really what makes a great podcast. I've got all this info. Like where
what do I do with it?
Yeah.
So now I can channel it. And I'm really good at like recognizing people from like the obscure things that they've done. Mm-hmm. Some
that's crazy that you've seen One Tree Hill and Surface and The Mist.
I love Surface.
Surface was great.
Big fan of Surface.
Surface was so great.
And it came out alongside, like it was part of this block that the other show was called Invasion. Mm. And it was a pretty good show too. So it was like a sci-fi type of fantasy block that they were trying. Invasion,
I wonder if you'd like that show Under the Dome.
I do like Under the Dome. Did one of your brothers appear in that?
My sister was in that, and my brother.
Oh, your sister and brother. Okay.
Yeah, my sister played Nori. I think her name was Nori.
Oh, yeah.
She was like the goth girl.
I was a big fan of that show. That's why I started watching it.
Yeah, that's a great show. She filmed that in Wilmington, which we really love. She recently got married in Wilmington a couple of months ago.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
is she older or younger?
Yeah, she's 2.5 years older.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That was a Stephen King.
Yeah.
Book,
Stephen
right?
King. Mm-hmm.
Your family has quite the partnership with
Stephen King. With that man. Thanks. And he likes Bosch too. He tweets about Bosch sometimes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like, oh, he's crazy. I'm like, what? It's so weird. But yeah.
Do you have people that you're a fan of like that? Do you fan out over anybody in particular?
Yeah. Of course I do. Yeah. I fan out about a lot of people.
Yeah. Name somebody.
Sorry, that's my dog.
We allow dogs on the podcast.
You want to meet her?
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh, it's okay.
Don't be scared. She may not like to be on camera.
Oh no, she loves the camera. This is real.
Oh my gosh. I love her.
She's a mini Aussie.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I fan out about Rue. No, I'm trying to think of who I fan out about. Oh. So the other day, my boyfriend and I were walking around this store in LA, and Demi Lovato walks in.
Oh.
And I have loved them since I was literally 14. I went to their concert.
Yeah.
When I was 14, and they were walking around, and they wanted to pet Rue. And so.
Yes.
And then we had a whole conversation, and we were talking to Demi Lovato as if it was just like a normal thing that happened.
Yeah, that would get me. That's good.
Yeah, I was sort of like, this is the strangest thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life. So Demi Lovato, we love Yellowstone. So any of the actors from Yellowstone, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm a big Kevin Costner fan.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's really good. We had the like he sings too, Kevin Costner. He's got his own band.
Really?
So some of the music for Yellowstone he sang.
Are you serious?
So the guy that wrote the music, we had him on the show. He's a songwriter. Jack Williams is his name. But he was talking about doing the music videos at Kevin Costner's house. So it was kind of cool. Do you sing?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm sort of like a one-trick wonder type.
But at least you have that one good trick.
I am a single threat, not by any means a triple threat. I'm working on it. I recently did an audition. This actually wasn't recently. This was a couple of years ago. And I really loved the script, and I loved everything about it. And it said that I had to sing and play the piano. And I was like, oh my gosh. And since I was a child, I've been auditioning since I was 6. I would turn down every audition where I had to sing because I was like, I can't sing. I don't really like to sing. I don't know how. It makes me nervous, whatever. And this was the first audition that I had, like, I decided, like, okay, fine. I'll sing, whatever. I can do it. I had to just casually sing. It wasn't like 16 bars or anything like that. It was just a normal song. And so I can play a little bit of piano. So I fiddled around and I figured something out. And I did it for the audition. And I ended up booking it.
Very nice.
So I was like, well, now I don't really have an excuse to turn down those auditions.
No, you have to do it.
I have to do it. So I have been taking like singing lessons and stuff. And it is humbling. I'm telling you, doing something you're bad at is character building.
I'm sure you carry a very nice tune. There's a difference though.
Carry a tune, but I'm not, my voice isn't trained. I'm not a trained singer.
Right.
So that's sort of what I'm working on as recent. And it's been a trip.
You've got the right hands for piano though. See, mine are
I have large hands.
Yeah, you've got the longer fingers where you can. Mine, I took a couple years when I was younger. My poor aunt was the music teacher, and she tried, but I was just my hands were too big. I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah. I feel that. But
you didn't do theater? You didn't do theater growing up?
I have like a little teeny tiny bit of stage fright.
Really?
I do not love the whole standing in front of a crowd sort of situation. That is not my thing. And it's different on set because there are people watching me, but it's not like 100.
Yeah. Well, you're not looking right at them.
And I'm not looking right at them. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're doing their own, everyone's doing their separate job, and I'm doing my job, and we're all collaborating to make something incredible.
Yeah.
Whereas like just going on a stage and people are just staring at you, waiting for you to do something interesting, like that's no.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I could not. It's surprising to me how many actors are introverts or have stage fright. A lot of them. Yeah, me too. Not that I'm an actor, but I definitely have both. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very introverted.
Like when you need to relax, is it more quiet? So you're at home watching TV, you're doing something.
Yeah. It's also just most of the things that I do in my life, I do alone.
Yeah. I'm like that too.
My roommate, I love her so much. She's literally my best friend. When we first started living together, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go to the store. Do you want anything? Do you need anything? And she'd be like, well, I'll just come with you. I was
like, no.
What? What are you talking about?
That's my time.
She's very dramatic too. She's like an ambivert. So she can be introverted and she can be extroverted. So she's awesome. That.
If I'm comfortable, like if I'm with my people,
yeah,
I can be pretty extroverted.
Yes. Yeah, agreed. I with my siblings and with my boyfriend, like it's easy to be around them. But even still, like I like to have one day a week at least where I'm just like doing my own thing. Yeah, I appreciate my alone time.
Do you have any siblings that aren't acting?
So my older sister doesn't act anymore. She's actually in law school.
Oh, very nice. Good for her. But she understands.
Yes.
So you can
my whole family does. I mean, my dad never did, but he really gets the industry just as well as we do. So sort of a family trade.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah. Did it start with your mom or was there somebody further back? Okay.
My mom.
Yeah.
And she started in Florida with commercials and then got into film and television when they moved to Atlanta because there's a great market in Atlanta. And then I was on set with her one day when I was 5 or 6 and she was like practicing her lines and I was repeating her and she was like, she had like kids in whatever she was, I can't even remember if it was a commercial or what she was doing. And I was like really frustrated that I wasn't in it as well because there was kids in it. And so then one day, soon after that, my brother and I were like, this is what we want to do. We're going to act. And the rest is history.
It's pretty great, though, to figure it out that young.
Yeah. I feel really blessed to have found like my passion.
I remember you did a Golden Corral commercial.
Yes, I did.
Back when we were doing the buffet thing, we don't really do that anymore. But
I know buffets are gross now, but I loved Golden Corral.
Well, yeah, who didn't when you were younger?
I really did.
All the good foods were there.
The rolls. And then you could get as much food as you wanted. I would always get a huge plate of dessert. Yeah.
I know. Now buffets, I'm with you. No,
but here's the thing. I have a Whole Foods close to where I live. And they've still got the hot bar and the salad bar. And I go there often.
I would too. We don't have a Whole Foods, but if we did, I would totally do that. It's something different about Whole Foods, though.
Whole Foods is exempt. Whole Foods, it doesn't matter. It's organic. So
it's organic. It has to. It's clean.
Yeah.
It's clean. Yeah. But would you go to a restaurant and eat at a buffet now?
No.
I don't think I would either.
I don't know why, but I don't think I would. But I mean, there's I don't know, there's resorts or like cruises. Cruises still have, I'm
not sure I'd go on a cruise yet either. Maybe I might.
I don't think I would either. I can't really with cruises.
It's not really me either.
Yeah.
I might go to like Alaska, like a cold cruise.
Yeah.
That might be nice.
Sorry, my doorbell was ringing.
I heard that.
Heck, it's here.
New guest for the podcast.
No, I have no idea who's here. Who rings the doorbell anymore?
I guess that's true.
Just knock.
Yeah.
No, I always get so unsettled because I don't think I'm expecting anybody.
You got to get you a doorbell camera.
I know. I need to get a ring, don't I? I don't have a ring. I need to get one of those.
You got to, you need one of those because you never know what kind of shenanigans are happening out there.
I got my dog. She looks small, but she is.
She did good though. She barked like one time. She was done.
Yeah, she alerted me and was done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know we got to wrap up, but I wanted to mention Parental Guidance.
Yes.
Because you were in this movie, and it, like looking back, you were in there with like legends.
I know.
That movie's crazy when you look at the cast.
Yeah. Goodness gracious, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't much older. I was like probably 12 when I did that, 12 or 13.
Yeah, it was probably at the after Walking Dead, I'm guessing, right?
It was after.
Yeah.
But yeah, goodness gracious. I knew who Billy Crystal was. I knew that I was among legends.
Yeah.
So it was cool to be able to.
Bette Midler was in that?
Yeah, Bette Midler, Marissa Tomei.
Oh my gosh.
Bailey Madison, she's incredible.
I know. Who knew then? I mean, if she was really good in that, but yeah.
She's so great. And she's in that new Pretty Little Liars prequel, I guess is what it is.
Yeah, I know. My daughter cool. is looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
Who will be the liar this time?
I know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's not a prequel. Maybe it's a spinoff and it's about their kids. I can't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. My daughter could definitely tell me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Her, like, she doesn't like any of the same things I do. So she's into the more soap opera shows, Grey's Anatomy and that stuff. Or if you've ever done a Christmas movie, she could tell you that you've done a Christmas
I want to do a Christmas movie so bad.
Well, I want to do a Christmas movie Vancouver.
So bad. But here's the problem. Why don't they just do Christmas movies in December for them to come out the next?
No, they do them in July.
They do them in July. That is horrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'd be doing it right now.
Yeah, and it would be terrible. And I would be in the Christmas spirit and I would feel so thrown off.
It kind of throws you off a little because they do like all the New York movies. They're not in New York. They're like in Vancouver. And it's July.
Yeah, that's my one qualm. That is acting. That is acting.
But it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. And I think vice versa is worse in my opinion. Where it's super cold and you have to pretend it's not. That's terrible. And I've done that before.
Yeah. Okay.
That is really bad.
That'd be pretty bad.
We had to
I don't do good with cold. Really?
Yes. The baseball scene was freezing at the end. It was so cold. I was dying, and they would come and give us coats in between takes, and I was just shivering.
I was gonna say, you didn't have a coat or anything.
No, because it was supposed to be summer.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm no good with cold.
Yeah, I'm not really either. Either.
But I sweat too. If I they'd be like, there's something shady about this guy in this Christmas movie. Yeah. He's all sweaty.
That's funny. Oh man.
Well, Maddie, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time. This is I knew it was going to be good. I was so excited to talk with you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, you're so good. You do such a good job.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I know, and you're so young with it yet. You're just getting started.
Yeah, hopefully. Knock on wood, just getting started.
When have you started filming season 2 yet?
No, we start in a couple weeks. So I do have to get to training for preparation for season 2.
Of course.
So in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. When you went in, would you have been like, after you learned how to properly hold a weapon? Because I'm the same way. I've never actually held a firearm. If you hadn't had that training, they just handed you the gun, would you have screwed it up? Like trying to say, okay, this is probably how you hold it.
Yeah, I would have completely messed it up. I had a lot of training because I could not have done it. And obviously I wanted it to look believable and I wanted to know how to hold it and draw it and do all that properly. But more importantly, I wanted to be able to handle it safely and know that I could handle it safely.
Yeah, of course.
So that was a big thing.
That's a good skill to have.
It is a really great skill to have. So, I'll carry that with me for the rest of my life. Yeah. So it was worth it.
I told Tatiana when she was on that my favorite scene that she had was when Titus comes in the bedroom that she's in and she kind of shoots under her arm at him.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, because it's so cool because she just made it look so natural. Like I'd have shot myself in the arm trying to do that.
I would as well. They're so talented.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so
and Tatiana are incredible. Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing, and they're like doing all the work.
I know they're training everybody.
It's everybody.
Crazy. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either, but they're doing a good job with it.
Yeah.
Everybody looks really good.
I know.
So a couple of quick things before you go. Anything else that you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
I start work on a film in January, but I mean, I've essentially for the past couple of months just been prepping for season 2 of Bosch Legacy.
Yeah.
So that's what to look out for.
Oh, yeah. And we're waiting for that one.
Yep.
Do you have any aspirations to step behind the camera at some point?
Question. Perhaps. I'm still sort of mastering in front of the camera, if that makes sense. So there's still a lot I want to do in front of the camera. But I wouldn't mind maybe directing one day. I think that would be really cool. But I'm still sort of tackling the whole acting thing.
Yeah. Well, you got time.
Like I have that figured out if I ever feel like I have.
When you're on these shows that last for years and years, that's when you get into directing, because they're like, hey, you want to direct an episode?
They do. That would be, I don't know what I would do if they
well, you'd have lots of help.
Yeah, I need lots of help. Because that's like, you can say you'd like to maybe direct one day, but there's so much that goes into it. Goodness gracious, there's so much. So that's a whole other beast that I can't even think about.
Would you want to direct in something that you're also acting in, or no?
No, I don't know. I don't get how people can do both at the same time.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think I could.
I'd be really hard on myself if I was.
Yeah, I'd be too hard. You gotta chunk it. You gotta do one and then do the other thing. You can't do both at the same time unless you're incredibly, insanely talented.
Yeah, maybe 40-year-old Maddie could.
Maybe. You know what? I shouldn't really cut myself short like that.
That's right.
Maybe 40-year-old Madison would be able to do that.
You might be doing like a musical by then.
I'll be playing the piano and singing in front of 700 people at 40, for all I know.
What? You did it? Am I crazy, or did you do an episode in Nashville?
I did, and I sang.
Okay.
I forgot about that. But I
did too. It just hit me.
Problem. What?
It just hit me that you were on Nashville. That's why I was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I did do an episode of Nashville, and I was really worried that they were going to be able to hear me singing. I was really worried, but they couldn't. So
no,
lucky for everybody, they couldn't.
Well, you say that now, but when you're 40,
right,
it's going to be amazing.
40, they'll only be able to hear me singing.
That's right. That's probably the only roles you'll take at that point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll be starring in the new Glee.
The remake.
By
then, there'll be a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third remake, probably.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Okay, so last thing before you go, where can we find you on social media?
So my Twitter is Madison_Lintz. My Instagram is Madison Lintz. And that's it.
That's pretty good. Did you have to underscore it because somebody else had it?
That's such a good question. I think I just did it because I thought that was the cool thing to do, but it's actually cooler to just make it one word. But I
kind of like the 12. Z. I like the people that put the Z in front of their name. I think that's kind of cool.
The Z?
No, the Z.
Oh, the V.
Yeah.
The Madison Lintz.
Yeah. Although it's kind of pretentious now that I hear it. Yeah, it's kind of pretentious.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
What an asshole.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
We just picked a name that we're like, nobody's going to have this name.
Yeah, right.
And we were right. Mm-hmm. And then because if I'd went with just, Mike Wall, there's like a bazillion of them.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah, it's no good. All right, Maddie, hold on one second. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been so fun. Okay, hold on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, so that was the talented Madison Lintz. I'm so happy that we were able to make that happen. And thank you so much to Tatiana Gaidar, who set this up for me. That was really terrific on her part. And definitely, she plays the badass assassin from season 1 of Bosch Legacy. So definitely check out Tatiana's work and our interview, which is posting. Well, by the time you hear this one, it'll be posted. So definitely check that one out, along with our Bosch playlist, which has like 12 people on it now. So if you like Bosch, we've got a ton of the cast on there. So definitely check that out. If you haven't done so yet, we could use the help with our YouTube channel, Meisterkhan Pod. really appreciate it if you would subscribe. That would really help us out. You can find all 420 or so episodes, audio and video, on our website, Meisterkhan.com. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, that'll be on the website, Meisterkhan.com. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.